Hello, my darling, and welcome to today's story time. Today we have a special treat, a 4-chapter preview of the book Four Threads of Fate by Kaylee Cross. My new friend Kaylee is an incredible writer, and you should check her out on Twitter and her Amazon page to learn more about her and her works. And you can buy her book and follow along and read the rest of the story. A little word from her. She's been working on this book for a long time and finally decided to give herself and it a chance. She designed the cover and rewrote several parts and has planned out the rest of the series. So hopefully you'll enjoy the first chapters of book 1, and I hope you are as excited as I am for the rest of the book and the future series. And now, on with our story time. Chapter 1. 4 trials, 4 deadly trials, to give me the chance to reach my full potential. 4 trials that will determine the fate of the entire kingdom. I don't know what they do or what they will be, but I do know that they can change you, just like they changed my sister. Leanne used to be this loving, sweet, righteous big sister, until she reached the 4th trial. She completely turned on everyone. She became cold-hearted, ruthless, I might even say, which is not a good look for a queen. But since she is the eldest and our parents died, she had to step up. Now, I'm about to take on these trials to gain my full magic potential. That's the reason I'm here most of the time, just to clear my mind. This beautiful green landscape, surrounded by trees, flowers, countless animals, it just makes me happy and feel at peace with myself and my surroundings. The creatures here differ from deer to gendrils, which are dog-like creatures. I even got one laying right beside me called Yuno. She always comes to me when I'm here, as if she knows I need her company. We usually just lay in the grass, looking at the clouds moving through the sky, listening to the wind blowing through the field. It calms me and the humming magic beneath my skin down. I've had 2 out of 4 elements since birth, earth and air, and I know the first trial will release the other 2, fire and water. Dawn, someone suddenly shouts from behind me. I turn over onto my stomach and peer between the trees, not seeing anything at first sight, until a head with bright red hair walks out from behind a tree. "There you are," Madian says. As usual, her hair is in a perfectly braided crown around her head, courtesy of her mate, Jade. They met about 6 years ago, after almost killing each other. Since Madian is our general, she had to go to Yedal, where she met Jade. And the rest of that story is complicated and quite triggering for both of them. "What can I help you with, Madian?" I say with a smile, before turning over onto my back again. She lays down beside Yuno and me, softly running her hand over the fur of the former. "I wanted to see how you were doing after yesterday." "You left in a hurry," she says quietly, knowing all too well that I don't want to talk about the conversation I had with Leanne yesterday. "I'm fine. We both should have walked away from that conversation before it had gotten out of hand. But it is what it is. I'm going to do these trials, and I don't care whether she agrees or not," I say in response, still not in the best mood to talk about it. "Okay." She turns on her side, facing me. "Changing the subject then. You need armor, or at least clothing, that'll survive the 4 trials. And Jade said she could help you with that." "I know. She came to my room last week," I state. "I assume she heard from you that I was planning on taking on the trials and offered to put together anything I need. I didn't accept yet. Dawn, we're your friends. Let us help, Madion immediately counters. I turn my head to look straight into her eyes, and I can see she means it. You're not alone. Me, Jade, and Nate will always be here for you. Ah, yes, Nate, the apprentice of the best blacksmith of Alunial. We met a couple of years ago via that very blacksmith. The meeting was rough for him, but we became friends soon after. I know all of you support me. I just wish I had Leanne's support too. She's always sitting on her golden throne, with a crown on her head, acting as if she's the only person who matters in this world. I take a deep breath. I just want us to go back to the way things used to be. But that last trial, that very night, did something to her, and I want to know what. And with that, I get up and walk towards the town. Madion hurries after me, and retreats into the forest. When I reach the gates, my guards, Adrian, with his shoulder-length blonde hair tied up, and Jake, his short black hair matching his dark eyes, eye my weapons that I always carry around first, and then the rest of my body to see if I suffered any injuries. Once they see I don't have a scratch on me, they let me through. Madion and I walk into the town for a while before we reach a small wooden house, the front yard covered in fabric, ribbons, lace, and weapons. We're greeted by a black and red-haired, ebony-skinned woman. I see you've dyed your hair again, Jade. Looks better than the puke green you chose last time, I say, as an answer to her always changing appearance. 1 month, she has her natural black hair. The month after that, she's gone completely blue. And another month later, it has all the colors of the rainbow. You never know what to expect from the warrior, who is a seamstress by night. Thanks for pointing out my mistakes, Your Highness, she sneers back, but immediately after sticks out her tongue. I return the gesture, and Madion sighs. Shall we go inside? You said you already made sketches for Dawn's outfit, Madion says, crossing her arms and tapping her foot on the ground. She's getting impatient again. I indeed have. Follow me. Jade lays down the dress she was working on and leads us inside. There, she guides us toward the gigantic oak dinner table, which is also littered with fabrics, ribbons, lace, and weapons. I was playing around a bit with the cloak, but I think I came up with a pretty good concept, she says, as she proudly hands over the sketch. It shows a rough sketch of me with an outfit I've never seen before, and holy heaven, it's amazing. It consists of tight, black pants with intricate golden embroidery of curls, flowers, and leaves on the side of the legs, a dark blue shirt with the same embroidery as the pants across the chest and the sleeves, leather brown boots, and a black cloak. And of course, the entire outfit has got hidden pockets and compartments for my weapons. Jade, I mumble, not taking my eyes off the paper. I need this right now. She beams at my words. It's amazing. You truly outdid yourself, I say, as I hand her back the sketch. And I'd be honored to wear it during the trials. Thank you, she says, while slightly inclining her head. Madion takes her trembling hand and squeezes, showing how proud she is of her mate. Well, I still need to prepare for my dinner with Leanne tomorrow, so I'll leave you to it. Mostly mentally, though. We'll meet tomorrow at our usual spot. I've been meaning to try a new trick I came up with, I say, snapping them out of their staring. Of course. Take some time for yourself tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, Madion answers, steering Jade towards the back of the house, in the direction of the bedroom. And that's my cue to go. Try to be your most charming self during dinner. Leanne loves that, Jade calls after me, making Madion snort. I flip her off and exit the the little cottage. When I reach my room, I fall down on the bed and close my eyes, thinking of everything that could happen tomorrow night, this week, this month. The worst outcome would be that I don't survive the trials, but I won't lay down my life that easily. Opening my eyes, I look around my room. Once you enter my room, you'll find a desk and several bookcases on your left. My bed and the bathroom are on the right. With that come the books that are spread all throughout my room. However, the best part of this room is the balcony, where you can look across the enormous flower garden. As a child, I used to go there every day with my mom, smelling the flowers, making beautiful bouquets out of them, and giving those to my dad. He got one every day, but that didn't cease his excitement when I came into his office with yet another bouquet. Now, I usually slip out at night to peacefully sit with the flowers, trying to remember the days with my mom right there next to me. After a while of daydreaming, I decide to let the bathtub fill with hot water. I need to clear my head and soothe my sore body, because I might have been injured without Adrian and Jake knowing. And it might have happened because I tried a new move with my sword I have yet to perfect. Luckily, my healing is quick, so it'll all be gone within an hour. If the wound had been caused by an Alk, though, that would have left a scar, or it could have killed me. Because Alk is the only substance that can kill a member of my family. It might sound odd, but an ancestor of mine apparently angered someone, up to a point that the man cursed our entire bloodline, giving us our only weakness. But my dad tried to have every piece or drop of it destroyed, hoping to keep us all safe from then on. He must have missed that last bit, though, because he would not have died if the dagger that went into his heart wasn't made of Alk. I'm not going to rack my brain over that now. I need to clear my head for a bit with a book while lying and piping hot water. I'm awoken by the blinding sunlight coming through my window as someone yanks away the curtains. I let out a grunt and cover my head with my pillow, but it's immediately ripped away by someone. Then I cover my head under my blankets, but those are thrown across the room, leaving me sprawled in bed, in my nightgown, still half asleep. Get out of bed. You were supposed to be at the training court an hour ago, Jade drawls as she leans against the wall. Weapons strapped to her legs, arms, and waist. She even brought her bow and quiver. Madion is on the other side of the bed, making her the person who pulled open the curtains. She is also covered in weapons. However, she has a sword strapped across her back instead of a quiver. Give me a minute. I barely slept last night, I mutter, sleep and terror still clouding my mind. Madion lets out a sigh. The same nightmare again? Yes, my parents being murdered in front of me. Me trying to save them, but failing by mere inches. And then the murderer drives their blade straight through my heart. The exact same dream every time. But I can never see the face of the killer, I say in response, still shivering. The nightmare is identical every single night. I'm always too late to save my parents. I always die. My parents always die. It's a mess I can't seem to figure out. You two go ahead. I'll change really quick and meet you downstairs, I say, before anyone else comes up with their theories again. Jade chuckles. Do you really think we're just going to go? Not a chance. You go change. We're waiting right here for you. I let out a long, low grunt before I haul myself out of bed. Shuffling towards the big chest at the end of my bed, which contains all of my clothes. I open it, grab the first pair of pants I come across, put them on, find a matching shirt, pull that on too, pull out some socks, and then close the chest again. After shuffling back to my bed, Jade and Madion watching carefully so that I don't lay down and fall asleep again. I sit down and put on my socks and my boots. Jade hands me the daggers from my nightstand, and Madion gives me my sword from the other side of my bed. When I stand up, they both loop an arm around my elbow and lead me out of the room towards the training court. The court is completely empty when we enter. No soldiers in sight, no guards, no one. Where is everyone? I ask. No response. I spin around and find Jade and Madion are gone too. I look around, searching for any kind of movement, but find none. I push out a wave of my magic, trying to pick up anything. Still nothing. Where the hell are they? They've never done this before, so I unsheath my sword, readying myself for anything. My magic hums beneath my skin in anticipation of what's coming. The hairs on my neck stand up, and my magic immediately responds, forming a shield of wind behind me as Madion brings down her sword. As soon as my shield drops, I bring my sword around to meet hers. Our swords clash, and Madion smiles at me, a wicked grin that would send people running for the hills, but not me. I know that grin. She has a backup plan. Jade. She comes in from my right. I keep my sword against Madion's, keeping my eyes on her. And right before Jade is about to strike, I turn away, letting her clash with Madion. This isn't their usual tactic in battle, I notice. They always circle the people they're fighting against, but they're not doing it now. Jade and Madion are both back to their feet by the time I turn around to face them again. What the hell, Madion? You could have seriously injured me with that move, I heave. No, I couldn't, and you know it, is her only response as they both attack again. Though this time, I'm ready. I quickly grab a dagger from my right thigh and block Jade's sword while I block Madion's blow with my sword. I push them back, but Jade immediately goes for my knees. I try to sidestep, but Madion is waiting for me. She sweeps my legs out from under me, and they both jump at me. Madion pins down my right leg and arm, and Jade my left leg and arm. I try to get free, but they only squeeze my arms harder. Get off me, I sneer. No, Jade merely says, waiting for something. They want me to break free, although I can't use my arms and legs. But she does not want me to use brute strength. She wants to see magic. Why are you two even doing this? I ask again, trying to rip my arms free while trying to mask the building of my magic inside me at the same time. What do you mean? We're just training, and you are losing, Madion says with a smirk. No, I'm not, I say, and let my magic out. They're both flung back a few feet. I get up as soon as they're both off me. I search for my weapons, but those seem to have been blown away too. Just my luck. But I have 2 daggers left on me. I take one, leaving the other just in case, and look around, panting from the magic outburst, trying to see where Jade and Madion landed. They're both slowly getting up, looking at each other. But as their attention snaps to me, I can see they're both angry, very angry. I wonder why. They do find their weapons, unfortunately, and start circling me, using their standard but successful move. I position myself in a way that Madion is on my left and Jade is on my right. which is the best position for me to be in. Jade always goes for the legs, and Madian for the chest. But not this time. The second they try to touch me, well, they'll be even more pissed when they find out what I'm about to do. Madian throws a subtle nod in Jade's direction. Here we go. Let's hope I practice this enough. I raise my dagger, as if I'm going to fight them with steel. But at the same time, I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and relax my body. Jade and Madian strike, but the blows never land. As I open my eyes, I'm greeted by growls from both sides of me. I might have pinned them to the ground by using my magic with the earth. I look to my left and find Madian, feet buried in the ground, hands completely enveloped with earth and stone, anchored to the ground. She's glaring at me as I look higher. I give her a smile before turning to Jade. She might be in an even worse position than Madian. Jade is sitting flat on her ass, legs in front of her, completely covered in earth and stone. Her hands are pinned behind her, anchored to the ground by more earth and stone. She's glaring at me too. They're both pissed I outsmarted them. They can't use their magic on the earth. Jade can control water and air, and Madian controls fire and air. By the looks on their faces, I know they're going to take revenge soon. Very soon. I was losing, Madian, I say, slightly taunting her. It seems that you've both found yourself in a bind. Literally. I casually sit down in between them, leaving them stuck on the ground. Dawn, I swear to heaven, if you don't let us go right now, Jade breathes, I will. I put a chin on my fist. What will you do? You can't go anywhere. Which makes this a good time to talk about what's coming. Madian looks curious, not angry, and asks, You mean the trials, or Leanne? Both. Their faces turn grave. I'm scared, I confess. Scared of the trials, but also scared of what Leanne might do. She threatened me last night that if I dared to do the trials, she'd do everything in her power to stop me from completing them. What if she tries to sabotage me? The trials are already deadly on their own. Would Leanne sabotaging me be the thing that gets me killed? I wrap my arms around my knees and let my magic hold on Jade and Madian's restraints dissipate. As soon as the earth and stone are loose enough, they shake themselves free, letting big chunks of earth fall to the ground. Then they make their way over to me. Jade sits down on my right and Madian on my left, taking the same position as me. And like that, we sit there. You'll be okay, Dawn. You've already showed just now that you're resourceful. I wouldn't have thought about covering my enemies in dirt to keep them down, Jade says, which earns her a small smile from me. She throws her arm around my shoulders and pulls me in close. Madian comes from the other side and lays her head on my shoulder, silently telling me I'm not alone. I never will be. It's been hours since the three of us stopped training. We talked for a while about how I should approach Leanne, in what ways she could sabotage me before, during, and even after the trials. And we came up with various ways she could do that, a lot of which could get me killed. I also need to figure out what really happened to her. No one changes that much, going from the kindest princess you'll ever meet to a bloodthirsty queen. How I should take on these trials was a point of discussion too. I just need to stay calm. I'm strong. I can take it. Once the letter comes, I can start making my plans. Now, I just need to keep my head straight. As I approach my room I notice my door is ajar. I draw my daggers, one in each hand, and slowly step closer. Reaching the door, I push it open, ready for an attack. But nothing comes. I sneak into my room and close the door. I do a quick search to see if anyone is here. Again, nothing. Then my eyes fall on my bed. On my dark blue sheet lays an envelope with my name on it. I pick up the envelope and cut it open with my dagger. Inside, I find the letter I've been waiting for, what I've been training for. Dawn Maria Rowena Sungust, we hereby summon you for your first trial. In 1 week, when the sun sets, be at the sacred dome. Beware of the shadows. They are more dangerous than you might think. And this, my darling, ends our story time for today. Please make sure to check out Kaylee Cross and her book on Amazon and Twitter in the links below. As always, I hope that you have very sweet and creepy dreams. Good night.